spoke there about Puello. Now he's the WBC super lightweight champion, and he has this defense here against Sandor Martin. And of course, Sandor Martin had that win over Mikey Garcia. People thought he won against Teofimo Lopez too. So I mean, he's a tough out for anybody. So what do you think? Like stylistically, that could be a very technical fight.
That guy played tough, man. He a veteran, he's seasoned. But like you say, what's the young man you just named?
What, Puello or Sandor Martin?
Sandor Martin. He's coming to fight, man. This is going to be really contrasting styles of who's going to oppose their will on each other and who's going to be able to last longer when it comes to the cardio. That's what I think this fight going to really play into, cardio in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, and the thing with Puello is like he's fairly tall for the weight class there at 140. So he pretty much like uses the jab there to create most of the offense that he uses for the rest of the fight. So that's the thing about what Sandor Martin has to deal with. He's a good mover, but he doesn't kind of like punch off of that. He's not like a counter puncher type of guy with that. So it'll be a tough out for both fighters up there.
I think I'm gonna go with the veteran on this one.
Okay.
I don't think he's ready to let that belt go. He fighting for his country. It's a different hunger when those guys fighting for their country, man. I'm gonna go with the veteran on this.
Gotcha. And you got the WBA, the interim WBA super welterweight title. You got the young one coming up here, Tellez, going up against a former unified champion in Julian J. Rock Williams there in the first fight of that pay-per-view card. Now J. Rock, of course, everybody know what he did there at 154, but he's had a couple of stumbles here along the way, and now he's going up against this high-rising fighter that pretty much took down Johan Gonzalez within like 7 rounds or something. So it's gonna be a real tough out here for J Rock to see if he can turn back the clock and see if he can get an upset win here.
J Rock gonna have to let his hands go. He gonna have to move his feet. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a J Rock Williams fan, class act guy, man. Former world champion, man. But it's nothing personal. I got this young guy probably getting J Rock out of there in the middle to late rounds.
Yeah.
I think J Rock gonna gas. The inactivity hurt him.
Yeah.
And not fighting as much hurt a lot of these guys. And I think J Rock falls into that class of it. But if he wins, I wouldn't be upset about it.
Word, for sure.
I wouldn't be upset about it.
For sure. And then we got, of course, there in a couple of fights, on the, PBC on Prime Video portion, you got Jared Hurd, another former unified champion there. He's going up against Johan Gonzalez. And he said yesterday, he's like, if I can't beat Johan Gonzalez, then I might as well pack it up, because like he feels like at his level where he's been at, he should be able to blow right by Johan Gonzalez here coming up tomorrow night. What are you thinking?
Well, you can never think like that when you're going up against any fighter. But in Jared Swift's case, I understand where he's coming from being a veteran, being tested, one of the fights of the decade that he been in the Aries Landy Law fight. I mean, I could pop that at any time and get some spectacular footage. But he has to win this. This all or nothing for Jared. I totally agree with him. But my thing really concerned with Jared is his defense. His defense is not the best.
Yeah.
And if this kid got heavy hands like he's displaying, it's gonna be a rough night. It's gonna be a rough outing. That's another fight to me. Only because I'm gonna say it's 50-50 because of the lack of Jared's defense. And then you got this young lion that can punch.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see. This gonna really be war of the wills. But I'm a Jared Hurd fan. I gotta go with my boy.
Gotcha. And you got a couple more fights that are on the card that'll involve fighters here from the DMV area. You got, Derek Scooter Davis that's going to be on the card there. You got Whitmire, I think that's going to be still on the card. I think Fleming's going to be on the card too. So what do you think about having all of these fighters, from our area being part of this big card here March 1st?
Well, what I think it's a step up for their career being here at the Barclays Center, as you can see downtown, man. This is a big stage. This is like one of the meccas of boxing, the Barclays Center. You know what I mean? So it's going to be exciting for these guys to put on a great performance, to be able to come back here, open up that door to be able to come back here.
Yeah.
And so on that undercard, everybody going to have to put on a spectacular performance, bring their A game, so they can be invited here in the future.
Gotcha, yeah, because, the thing is that Tank Davis, he was doing it over in D.C., having a number of the D.C., base fighters on that card, and now here, come March 1st, he's doing the same thing, offering, the thing there for these fighters to be part of it. So definitely looking forward to seeing them in action here coming up tomorrow. But with that being said, big thanks there to the Smoothie King for chopping it up with me here on the Boston Source. Of course, you had Mr. All Access out here hating.